Hello, welcome. We're going to do collective reading today. There we go. I had to pull up my comments. Restreams changed things around a little bit. So, welcome. I will allow everyone to start to file in, and then we'll do the collective energy reading for the week. If you're watching on the replay, hello, thank you for joining. Drop me a comment. Let me know that you're watching on the replay. There we go. There you go. Get a little smudging. Hello, how are you? Just getting ready, allowing time for everyone to start to file in. And then we'll get into the reading. This is collective reading only. This is not going to be individual readings today. We'll probably do some of those next week though. So if y'all want to do collective readings next week, let me know. Hi, Holly. Yeah, you're welcome. Get a little smudging done. We all need it, trust me. It's been crazy. I don't got to tell you that though. So much happening lately, and it's just getting more intense. So a few of the cards, I was seeing a couple of them come out, was paying attention a little bit, and I got some messages from those too. So I was like, okay, we'll just see how the rest of this goes then. Because the Divine Feminine is angry. Hello, Susan. I am streaming this also to Facebook, so if your comments still aren't popping up over there on YouTube, you can definitely jump in on the Facebook side. Hi, Lori. Hi, Val. How are you? How's everything going in your neck of the woods? I'm glad to see you. All right. I have been recovering yesterday and today. I have been exhausted, y'all. This new job, I'm a lunch lady, okay? I'm a cook at the cafeteria, and I'm at the middle school. The middle school does the cooking for the elementary, middle school, and the high school. Hi, Patrine. Nice to see your beautiful face. So we make all the food at the middle school and then deliver it to elementary and to the high school. And I serve at the middle school. So cooking, cleaning, serving kids, which is fun. But it's a lot of work. Plus the whole Thanksgiving in the US thing. Here in public right now, having 2 cats neutered. Aw. Hopefully they won't hold a grudge like Duncan did with me. Duncan held a grudge against me. Like he still kind of holds a little bit of a grudge for me having him neutered. But for like the first year after I had him neutered, he wouldn't even recognize my presence. Like he would ignore the shit out of me. It was ridiculous. Hi, Helena. Nice to see your beautiful face, darling. How are you? Hope everyone had a nice holiday. I work at school too. Oh, do you? But I've been off the past 3 days. Yeah, same. I started this week and I was like, this is the perfect week to start because I started on Monday. We had Monday and Tuesday that we were at school, and then got the rest of the week off paid for the holiday. So that was nice. And then I'll work a couple more weeks before Christmas break and I'll get that off again, but also paid. So that's really, really awesome. And then I'll get paid through the summer here too. So I was like, I guess. Plus it goes along with the boys' school schedule, so I can work that job and then also, be there for my kids whenever they need me, and I can take clients. I need to fix my schedule on my website. So if you guys are looking to book a service, please don't book it during school hours. I have to change my business hours to fit this new job, and I just haven't had the time to do it this week. So hello, Kara. three weeks till next break. Yeah, so I mean, perfect time for me to start. There you are, Susan. I see your comment on Facebook. Awesome. So if you guys comment on YouTube and that your comments don't show up, go ahead and go to Facebook and join us there because I'll be able to see your comments from that. And I'm streaming right now to Facebook and to YouTube, just so we can be all inclusive. And I'm starting to let go of a little bit of the Facebook grudge, but just a little. So I am agreeing to stream to Facebook just because it is easier for some of you guys to join from there. All right. So, shall we dive in then since everyone is well not I mean everyone's not here, but people have lives. Yes, it's good to see you too, my dear. Thank you. I'm so glad you're doing good. All right. So, we got a lot going on in the collective sphere. I'm sure even if you don't really pay attention to much of the current events, you're still getting it. You're still seeing some of it at least. The divide is real, you guys. We've talked about this for the last couple of years. For those of you, which most of you have been following me for that long, um, we've been talking about this. Dolores Cannon, Dolores talked about it with her work about the splitting the old Earth and the new Earth, and the divide right now, you guys, is real. So I just want to preface by saying yes, we want to work together for the unity, but that's going to be, you're going to see the divide. Okay, there are those who do not want unity, and you're seeing that majorly right now, and you're seeing those that do, that want the highest good for all, right? Not just the 1%. So you're seeing this divide here, but the unity comes with those who are open to it, right? So the New Earth aligned folks that are unity consciousness forward, that's where we're going to see this unity coming, and it is coming soon. We've talked about the solar flash, right? That is like we're on the precipice of that. So I don't want you guys to get discouraged seeing all of the division that's taking place right now, and being hopeless about that. I mean, there's no avoiding it. This was forecast. That's been in the works for a very, very long time. So we're seeing this divide with the frequencies, but then after this divide, after we start to, a lot of us need to awaken to certain things, and that's why it's getting so bad right now. But once people are more awakened, hi Linda, once the people are at that more awakened point is when the unity starts to come in. So we're just going to preface with that because this we're going to, I guarantee you we're going to talk about it. I already knew for the last couple of days. I was getting messages on today's reading for the collective. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump right in. Nice to see everybody showing up. Thank you. Shauna, yay, hello. How are you, beauty? So nice to see you live. We don't get to see much of your beautiful face. And I'm not like shaming or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm glad to see you. There's a little tiny like itty bitty moth that's trying to fly in here. All right. Nicole, I'm missing a comment on the YouTube side of things, I guess, because I don't see. Hi, Nicole. I'm not seeing your comments, so if you're saying anything to me, I'm sorry I can't see it, but hello. I'm acknowledging you because Holly did, so I know you're there. All right. Nose is starting to try to run already, so. Oh. Yes, we've missed you too. All right, so. Crikey. Okay. We're starting off with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. She said hello. Oh, awesome. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Holly. Yeah, because I'm not seeing her comments. If you want to scoot over to Facebook and comment from there, I could totally see your comments from there. Otherwise, Holly is parroting your comments to me. So thank you, Holly. All right, so Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This is what we're being presented is not not it. So there is a lot with regard to the divide that we're seeing right now, and with the loss of control by those who tried to maintain control as they have for several thousand years now. They're fighting even harder to bring as much fear, division. I mean, you see it, the propaganda everywhere, trying to bring up skin color versus skin color, culture versus culture. Like, I mean, even seeing it like, I observe, right? I observe. So I've been seeing on TikTok, um, where there's like a lot of pages that do food from different countries, right? And then there's this whole thing about British food, which, you know, my my buddies over in the UK, we're gonna talk about some of y'all's food choices and see if that's a real thing. Because um, anyway, there's a lot of just like pages like that of Americans, you know, United States Americans versus like British food and Aussies and like all these different things. And we have, you know, people from those countries in our soul tribe, and this has never come up. So but it's more of like the mainstream consciousness level that I observe here, and they're talking shit about each other's food choices, or just like, oh, I can tell you're so American because you're an American because this, that, XYZ. Or you say you're going to go to Europe and you don't realize Europe is so many different countries. Yes, we do. But people that travel to Europe are visiting multiple countries a lot of the time. So they'll just kind of generalize it by saying, oh, I'm going to Europe. But there's people that kind of like talk shit about each other because of this, and I think it's utterly ridiculous, but it's a thing. So you're seeing a lot more of this kind of thing, and that's just one example. There's people, you know, skin color versus skin color, they're calling out that skin color for doing whatever, being whatever, however they live culturally, and it's a mess. Okay, it's all orchestrated for a reason. Most of these pages, mind you, I will say, are AI generated videos. They look like actual human beings, but they're not. You see a lot of those, and a lot of times you can tell that it's AI generated, it's not an actual person. But there's a lot of people that don't pay attention to that, and don't think about that before they go investing, and, you know, tying themselves to that energy, therefore thereby establishing that cord, right? The energetic cords, and it leaches energy from us. Just establishing some kind of back and forth in the comments, you know, with someone that you disagree with, is establishing energetic cords. So there are so many different kinds of psyop type things that are at play right now to get people to engage in this lower frequency behavior. And it's they're running a gambit right now. It's like there's so many different things. So you see that, you see like in the news, the propaganda, everyone, they're trying to pit people against other people and ideas against other ideas and all of these things. And it's out of you know, the 1%, their fear of losing control, because they've had control over humanity for so long. They're losing that control, so they're doing everything that they can to generate more fear. Like, you know, the current the current administration of the US at this time, you know, trying to pick fights with anyone and everyone that they can to incite fear in not only those countries and their peoples, and trying to go and steal their you know, their commodities and rare earths and oil and all of those things. Um, and then also fear on U.S. citizens' behalf, like, oh my gosh, why are we going to go pick a fight with them, and then all these different things. So they're trying to orchestrate all of these different events to try and incite as much fear as possible, so that they can try to keep humanity at that lower level of consciousness, but also so that they can, you know, feed as much as possible before they're cut off. And that cutoff date is coming very soon. I don't know if you guys have been made aware, but there are volcanoes that have been dormant for a very, very long time that are awakening right now. One of those being, I think it was in Nigeria, or I believe, don't quote me on that. Little unsure at this point, but um, 12,000 years this volcano has been dormant, and now it's awakening, and now it's starting to erupt. So um, there's a lot going on with all of the astrological stuff that's happening with the inter now all the words are leaving me. Thanks, Mercury retrograde. Interstellar objects, the couple of Ethiopia, thank you, yes, Ethiopia. um there's something else going on with Nigeria right now. Thank you, Susan. Yes, Ethiopia. And Holly, thank you. So yeah, we're the US is trying to pick fights with Nigeria at this point too, and they've got a couple other things going on. Anyway, besides the point, thank you. Yes, Ethiopia, the volcano in Ethiopia is starting to um come online. So there, it's just everything is tied together, right? This is all a tapestry. This is all orchestrated for everything the shit to hit the fan at this time. And they are trying to plant these seeds. Yes, the one in Ethiopia, for sure. That's the one I was thinking about. But also I was reading something on Nigeria earlier today, and they just, there's so many things that are going on right now. It's all just going through my mind. So my bad. I was absolutely talking about the one in Ethiopia, but they are trying to plant seeds right now with all of these different things, with all of the many different disasters and things, the typhoons, the you know, the hurricanes. We just had Melissa come through Jamaica and the Caribbean a couple weeks ago. Just so much, and yes, HARP, you know, was involved with that and multiple other things. Right now they're modifying the weather, they're doing all kinds of crazy shit. Okay, they're trying to keep our frequencies low, they're trying to put more PFAS and chemicals and things into the food system. There's so much going on with the manipulation of the food, and you know, not to mention the US halting all SNAP benefits and everything during that government shutdown. They're trying to, you know, get people to act out of their baser instincts to try to incite negativity. And, you know, that's what they're doing. It's not working because we're at a higher consciousness level this go round, right? So those things are not working. And that's why the Page of Pentacles is showing up in the reverse. Yes, they are attempting to plant these seeds. Yes, they're trying to get these things to take hold and try to remain in control in that way, but it's not working. Page of Cups in the reverse, they're just, you know, offering up a bunch of shit that we're like, no, we're not doing this. No, that's not satisfactory. That doesn't benefit any of us. It benefits the 1% of you. So no, this is not how that's going down. So we're not allowing it. Six of Swords in the reverse. We're not allowing that. You're not just going to get one over on us, you know, not this time around, because now we're all sick of it. Now we're all awakened. Now we're seeing, you know, these false structures that you've put in place, and baby, your house of cards is coming tumbling down. Strength in the reverse. Not working, because collective consciousness has already passed the tipping point, right? So now, as much as they're throwing everything at the wall to try to see what sticks. And the more they throw at the wall, which is everything in their tool bag at this point, the more people are awakening. It's backfiring right in their faces. So yes, we are still enduring a lot of hardship, a lot of negativity, a lot of disgusting shit happening right in front of our faces. is isn't real, and they're, um, everything. uh, it's backfiring for all of them, So grace is on the bottom of the deck with the cannabis healing oracle. Have grace with yourself right now, have grace with others, but that does not mean to allow them to play in your face. That means recognize, the level that they're at, and if you can, educate, advocate, and if not, let them go, because they're going to stay with the old earth paradigm, and that's their choice. That's their path. That's what their soul needs to do in order to complete its mission, to carry out its lessons for this time around, and then setting up for the next, for the rest. So maintain grace, maintain your balance at this time. I know how difficult it is, and have your moment. You're human. You're meant to have those moments. You're meant to express those emotions through your physical body, your vessel, right? But don't stay there. Get them out. Say, this is bullshit. You know what? I'm going to find another solution. Let's find, a way that we can harness this energy, use what is happening right now, and create better. We, like I've said forever, we're simultaneously building the new earth as the old is crumbling. So nothing's changed with that, but having that grace, having that balance, being able to um, have your moment and get that out of your system, and then come back into balance so that you can have that level head. You can have that clear view of the path moving forward. You're going to be triggered. You're going to be triggered personally, and just via your empathic awareness for others, your brothers and sisters in humanity. How could you not, right? So you're going to be triggered, but you need to express that. You need to hold space for yourself, for others, and then continue to find a way moving forward as this shit is crumbling. Like, we're walking through the rubble right now, and more is crumbling, more is falling, more is just going bonkers, haywire. So being able to process that, express that, but then, bring yourself back to center, get your shit back together. All right. You're allowed to have your moment, your several moments, your couple of days, however long you need. But then we bring it back to center, and then we figure out, how can we now move forward and create better from this rubble, right? So equalizer, highest self, that is experiencing and viewing everything through that lens of your higher self, because I know all of you have been working on aligning with your highest self, um, on your spiritual journey. Sorry, nose running again. So you have already been in practice of embracing and even getting yourself to the point where you can step outside of your 3D version of you and embrace that higher self perspective. And it's difficult, and it's gonna be challenging for you, even with all that practice, because of all of the, and any of us who have been rounds with a narcissist, this is like, that was practice for this. There's nothing new happening here. It's just, it's like, when are you going to learn? When are you going to grow up? Hello, Nicole, I miss you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here with us. um so again, choosing to view it through that higher self perspective. You are the equalizer. You are going to access that higher self perspective whenever you are equal, when you are balanced, right? So again, reminding you to stay in your power. Yeah, you're going to have reactions. That's human. That's natural. That is valid. But get your shit back together after you've had your moment and proceed. All right. So we've got restoration showing up for us. That actually did come out of the deck. This is um this is like this is the alchemy card, right? This is tempering yourself. This is like the temperance card in the tarot. It's the alchemist. It is taking that shit, using it as fertilizer, and growing from it. We're doing that collectively as a human species. We're having revelations like around her or his head, sorry, around his head is that light. It's the symbol of enlightenment, of that inner standing, that knowledge, that wisdom, okay? And right above that, that came out of the tarot deck, we have the Hanged Man showing up in the reverse. This is having gained that enlightenment through the experience of sacrificing of self, or sacrificing something that is important to you, your time, your energy, people, places, things, whatever it is. Like, I have recently had to release some more people that have meant a lot to me for a very long time, just over this crap, So um, that's their path. That's my path. There's nothing but love, no hate, but let it go and then continue to move forward. What can I do now with what I've got to build bigger and better? So restoring your own sanity, your own peace and well-being, while also being part of the collective restoration that is, helping to guide others through this could be people that your loved ones, friends, family, etc., or it could be speaking up online with soul tribe, soul family, like we have right here, helping one another through this, or chiming in on posts and helping to bring more of that higher self perspective and awareness to these people. To we are the way showers. We impact others by demonstrating with our own lives and how we conduct ourselves. That inspires others to also kind of follow suit, right? To match that higher frequency. Been hard lately remembering just the truth of it all, the consensual part, the choosing part. Yeah, I totally get that, Nicole. Totally get that. And it's hard whenever you're experiencing it firsthand. It's really hard to maintain that higher perspective because you're triggered personally, right? We get triggered personally, and of course we're going to take that and we're going to reflect on it ourselves, and we're going to be upset. We're going to have to process all of those emotions. So give yourself grace for that. Know that that is part of the job. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. That's part of the work that you're here to do. So validate those emotions, those experiences, and flow with them, express them, put the pieces of understanding together, and then bring it in, right? Integrate that for that inner standing. Um, that's what the alchemist does. And that's the restoration. That's that's alchemizing everything and bringing restoration to that which is broken, with all that you've learned, because you've had to sacrifice a lot to maintain, or not to maintain, to obtain that higher perspective. And it's when shit's not working out, two of wands showing up in the reverse, when things stop moving forward, when this path suddenly ends. And this could be with friends, family, this could be jobs, this could be experiences, whatever it happens to be for you. This could be just seeing collectively what's going on. Like, we cannot move forward in the way that we've been functioning. And I'm using that word lightly, the way we've been functioning as a society as a whole for quite some time now. The capitalist structure is not built to last. It's not built to serve the majority. It's not meant to support the whole. It's meant to benefit the 1%, So that path can no longer function for anyone, right? Nobody's benefiting anymore except for that 1%. And the scales have already been tipped. We are the majority. The majority says this ain't working for us. This cannot continue. And, we have to use the experiences that we have been through, the wisdom, the knowledge that we've acquired through those experiences, in order to create that new path ahead, But where things stop working, right, with that two of wands in the reverse, where it's like that path can it's no longer viable. We cannot move forward. There's a rocky cliff. There ain't no way of getting around this. Now we have to forge a new path. Now we have to find another way. My kids are crazy right now. They're playing and being loud, so I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. But when there's no way forward, we receive so much clarity. He's got the scales, like things are balancing. That those wings, those represent the enlightenment, the higher frequencies, the light frequencies, right? So when we can no longer move forward in the way that we have for so long, now it's all about taking what we've learned from everything that didn't work from that path that brought us to this point where it's no longer viable, and applying that to a new model, right? Creating a new model to where, it's something that is sustainable. It's something that is beneficial for all. I love that they're happy too. But I've been asking them, like I've reminded them all day, like, I'm going live tonight. I need you guys to like chill and be quiet while I'm doing my live. And like for an hour leading up to it, I was like, okay, I need you guys to stay quiet whenever I go live. And then whenever I go live, almost never fails, they get loud. So it's like, whatever. But I tried. I really did. But at least they're happy and they're playing and they're not like injuring each other and fighting. So I'll take it. So clarity. We've all been receiving so much clarity on what's not functioning in our lives, how we cannot continue to sustain the life that we've been living for our own individual experience, as well as the collective one. So we're taking what we've learned, and King of Pentacles, we're applying it moving forward in a very solid, stable way. We're planting these seeds for an abundant future for not only us, but for those who come after us. This is legacy energy. This is what we are building, because justice in the reverse, everything's coming to a head. Every shadow that's been hiding, that's been creeping, is coming to light. We see you. We see how you've been playing in our faces. Okay. And we're talking mostly for the collective, because I know a lot of us have already seen it for many, many, many years by this point. But there are those who are just seeing it for the first time, and they're freaking out. Like, we got to be like, oh, I've been talking about this for years, and remember our conversation 10 years ago whenever I pointed this out, and you just kind of, laughed it off like I was a conspiracy theorist. And like, now you see it, right? Now you see it. So helping these people through, talking them through it, helping them to find their footing, right? Because there's a lot, and we are like, I got this this channel in my self hypnosis session that I told you guys about when we first started the podcast a couple years ago. And the message that came through was, we are the triage, we are the trauma team. We incarnated here to help to triage those who are newly awakening during the course of this shift. Like, we saw it, we had all of these experiences, we had all of that practice, all of the things that we've had to heal in our own lives. Now we're seeing it play out in the collective sphere, like in real time. And so those who didn't see it, who had no awareness of it, who were not awakened at those times, now they're starting to awaken, and now they're freaking out because the cognitive dissonance is real. Okay. But also the freak out, the like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has been going on, and all of this awful stuff and unspeakable things that have been happening that we've been completely blind to. Now I see what's going on, and now I'm not okay with it. Like, and these people genuinely didn't see it. So they had no knowledge of it. Even if you told them about it, they weren't at the frequency to see it at that point. So have grace with them too. But now that they're coming online, they're awakened and aware now, they're having that freak out. But those of us who have been, like, this isn't our first rodeo, this isn't even our 10th rodeo. Like, we've been through it. Okay. So let me help you let me calm you, let me help to anchor you. What do you need? How can I help you? Like, you're new to shadow work, let me tell you how I've done it, all 10,568 times that I've done it in this lifetime alone. Right. um oh yeah, we are the triage. And advocating like you, Shauna, beautiful. Like, I haven't been on Facebook recently. Like, it's yeah, I get overwhelmed and overstimulated by certain things. Lately I've been like, TikTok is fine for me, whereas before TikTok was too overstimulating for me. Like, it bounces back and forth. The tism, the ADHD, like, I don't know, just different hyperfixations at different times. But I a lot of times whenever I do open the app to like check my notifications or make a post about, what I'm doing or whatever, I'll see your post usually at the top of my feed. I'll see like the first couple of posts. I won't scroll for very long, but I always see your posts, and they're always so eloquently worded and so just dripping with wisdom. And you're advocating and you're speaking about what is happening, and the utter just unfairness is, it doesn't even cover it, but like, you doing that, you're serving a beautiful, beautiful purpose by sharing your voice, by sharing your perspective, by saying, hey, this isn't okay, and advocating for those who may not be able to advocate for themselves right now. So I wanted to give you a little shout out there, because you are absolutely amazing, and I love your writing. It's beautiful. So first stage is freaking out. Second stage, trying to Captain Save. Oh, yeah. Third stage is sitting back and watching things implode. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, and everything that is coming to the surface, everything that, is coming to light is not going to be pleasant. It's like during the 2020 shutdown, and people just started, a lot of people, not all of them, not all of us, but a lot of people just started hearing about things like trafficking and adrenochrome and all of those different things. And they were completely disgusted and horrified and could not believe that this is what's been happening. Like, baby, most of those people in Hollywood and in the music industry and all of those mainstream industries that get big names, like, they're not human. Okay, they're not. Maybe for some of them at one point in time they might have been, but for a majority of them they haven't, and they aren't. So, just a lot of ugliness coming to light, and people are going to freak out. Those who have been unawakened for so long, who have been asleep for so long, are not at a place where they can digest this information. They hit freak out mode, and that's where we can come in and we can help to quell that, and to walk them through it, to hold their hand through it, so to speak. Even though we didn't have that for ourselves, we know how to do it best because we didn't have that, right? So we can be that for others. You're welcome. I love you too. Oh, yes. I love it. It has been a wild ride. Absolutely 100%. And, this, it's the many different, soul tribes that we see across the spiritual communities, and everybody kind of finds their own kind of niche in their own tribe. Um, those have all been, like we talked about from the very beginning of the podcast, right? The mycelial network that connects us all. We have our different sections where we vibe better with these different, places and people and situations, but we are all connected. And these people might be at a less awakened degree, and they're more fear-based than anything. Like, remember back to the reptilian hunter person, and like all of the craziness. And I think that is still happening from time to time. I'll hear something, but I don't really pay attention. Like, that sect, very, very important, serves a purpose. Even though, yes, it can keep people down in a lower frequency, it's still awakening people who were asleep. And so there are many different levels depending on, each group's awareness factor, so to speak. So we have all been kind of practicing for this new earth with our own little lumps in the mycelial network, but still being all connected and contributing to the ultimate awakening and shift that we see taking place right now. So everyone serves their function. It's all for the highest good. It's all love. It's, no shade. Everybody serves their purpose, even though I've had my moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely disagree with that. And I know better. And y'all are keeping people low, but I moved through it, right? Y'all saw me do it. So it's like, that was part of my trauma too, that I had to get through with being triggered by those individuals that did that. So it's all good. We're all at different levels. We're all, serving the purpose that we need to serve for the ultimate awakening and shift to take place. So it's all good. The truth is surfacing. Truth card with aura showing up for us. Gaia's aura has been changing, and we have the tangible physical proof with her magnetosphere changing, with all the different, like, the poles are shifting, right? I think it was like 18 inches that they've shifted in the last few years, and they're going to continue to flip, but Gaia's aura is shifting. And with all of these light codes, all of the high frequency codes that are hitting our planet right now, with everything that's going on, not just like the planets and everything, the sun, Gaia herself is responding with the Schumann, with her heartbeat, right? And all of the crazy weather patterns that, yes, HARP does contribute to, but ultimately it's kind of speeding up the process. So what it is trying to be used for destruction is actually speeding up the process for the overall highest good of all. So it's like the shift was already underway. That was already going to happen, but now you're speeding up the process, and it is tragic and it is awful for so many people. And I'm not taking that at all lightly, because it is something that's very, it's, yeah, we don't even want to touch that. But the truth has to surface, and HARP is part of that. Weather modification is part of that, because their glamour spell, baby, the glam card, glamour energy, their glamour spell is wearing off. You're gonna see, like, I know people have seen videos of these public figures kind of shape shifting, or like their eyes blinking different ways and showing the reptilian underneath. Pretty soon they're no longer going to be able to maintain that shape shifted humanoid image. They're going to be seen for what they truly are. And a lot of people, like the ones that we just talked about, that are kind of seeing, awakening for the first time and having that freak out moment. Imagine when they're no longer able to sustain that shape shifted into a human facade. That mask just doesn't work anymore. um, Again, ugliness, you're gonna see the veil's dropped, like it's not there anymore. And the residual effects from the veil are still here, and that's why they can maintain their human looking image. But it's not going to be that way for much longer. Like, we're going to see shit unraveling literally in real time, even more so than we already have. It's going to be more, the more finite details are going to start presenting themselves, so to speak. So the star card, we are anchoring these higher frequencies. We are the anchors. We are the conduits, like we have been talking about since I've known you guys. Like, we are anchoring our own high frequencies from the other experiences that we've had, not just with as humans, with regard to Gaia, Earth, Terra, whatever you want to call her, these other high frequency planes of existence that we exist on, because everything is happening right now. It's not past life, future life, any of that. But for humans, we can understand that. But it is anchoring those higher frequency versions of us that exist into this very dense, tangible plane. That just being here, just being alive and breathing is enough to anchor that frequency. But the more that we follow our passions, the more that we follow our intuition and do the things that we've set out to do, we anchor more of that, we solidify more of that by every deed, with every reading, with every healing session, with every person that you speak to, with every truth that you discover about the greater collective world and also your own personal world, whether you share that with anyone, that anchors and solidifies that higher frequency into this plane. So we are literally anchoring the high frequency source based matrix, not the false 3D paradigm, inverted matrix. We are anchoring source matrix energy to this plane. So shit's really going to start changing for the better. You're going to see it, I promise, but it's going to be messy for now. But you are protected. We've got protection. Oh yeah, this is protection. This is the bull. She's harnessing that lightning that, I don't know if y'all have ever been struck by lightning. I know I haven't, but I know someone who was struck twice, and it's not a good time. Okay. That shit unalives people. But whenever you can take such a volatile and powerful energy and harness that and use it for the protection of yourself and others and for the highest good of all, then you are truly a badass. Now you've stepped into your godship, right? And that is what we are. We are harnessing this lightning. Like, that's what she's doing. It looks like a string, but baby, she's harnessing light. She's harnessing light. She got the lightning, okay? And it is all about she, her, the divine feminine, not about gender, whether you identify as she, her, he, him, they, them, doesn't matter. This is that divine mother, that divine protectress, the divine feminine energy that is reawakening on this planet. And honey, she is not all love and light. I promise you that, okay? She is messy. She is sexy. She is gorgeous. She's the mother. She's the nurturer. She's the warrior. She is the hunter-gatherer. She is everything and then some, okay? She is the creator, and that it doesn't matter if you identify as a gender, female, doesn't matter. It is that divine feminine energy that we all carry within us, just like we all carry the divine masculine energy within us as well. We are coming to a place where we must balance our divine masculine and divine feminine, or shit's not going to work out for us, right? Shit hasn't been working out for me whenever I'm not balanced in my masculine and my feminine. If I'm leaning to wounded one or the other, everything starts to crumble and fall apart. So I have had to regroup, resituate, redo many different things in my life lately in order to bring that balance to myself personally, so that then I start to assume more of that balance and things start to really go more so in my favor, which they have, thank the goddess, they have been doing that lately. So we're all, we've all been going through it, but whenever you get that balance, hi Steph, whenever we get that balance just right, and we know and we can see everything starts to take shape and starts to get better and starts to go in our favor, we're like, yes, we are there. We have cleared out the anchors, the weeds. We've gotten all that out, and now we're smooth sailing right now. Okay, so let's maintain. And then something happens, we wobble a little bit, and then we bring it back to center, and we're all good again. So if you haven't started experiencing that smooth sailing yet, it is coming. Just have grace with yourself. Be patient. We're all on different points of this timeline. We're experiencing similar energies, right? But we're all at different points of the timeline. So if that hasn't yet happened for you, trust that it is. Just continue to move forward as best you can. Harness that destructive power and put it towards building something good for yourself. Okay. Peace. Talking about balance, talking about things going in your favor. Peace. This is self-love. This is, she's just chilling. And if you know anything about cats, which I know you all do, but yippee-ki-yay, yes. Captain of the ship. Yes, Linda. So if you know anything about cats, if you are in an erratic energy, you'll notice that most cats, like there are some cats that are just feral as fuck, and they'll feral right along with you. But if you are not in a very balanced energy, and you pay attention to their behavior, they're going to kind of like stay away from you. Like, they're going to just keep their distance for a little bit. But whenever you are at peace, when you're at balance, then they feel comfortable, they feel safe, they feel welcome in your presence, and they will gravitate to you, right? Just like what we chase is running from us. But whenever we stop chasing and we decide, either we're going to attract or we're just going to sit here and not do anything. That's fine too, right? That is not giving off resistance energy. Whatever we're resisting is persisting, whether we're resisting to stop chasing after it or whether we're resisting it coming, it's going to persist, right? So um as much as you possibly can, try to practice getting yourself back into that balanced state. That does not mean ignoring the triggers and trying to suppress those emotions and the triggers and everything that comes along with. Absolutely not. It means process it, move through it. Things might be a little chaotic and, up and down for a little bit, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean quit. Okay. That means continue to persist, push through it, take a break when you need to, process things as you need to, um, at a comfortable level for you, because like at this point there are so many people that are self-deleting because you know they can't really handle it, right? And I know like most of you, if probably none of you, but I'm just saying this just in case, um you know don't push yourself to that point, right? Have grace with yourself, have patience with yourself. You're on your own timeline, no one else's. There's no like, I have to rush to finish up this shadow work so that I can get my ticket onto the new earth plane. That's not how it works, okay? So, move at your own pace. Don't allow anyone or anything to rush you. And if you feel rushed, that is not source, that is not spirit, that is not your higher self. That is um that's resistance, okay? So no, I talked about it last week. I haven't been posting, especially not this week. I was so busy this week stuff, but yeah, I mentioned last week in the live that I was going to start, because of the new job, that I'm going to be going Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's 6 p.m. my time whenever I start. So yeah, I need to be posting more. I'll try to do that starting this week, but I've just had so much going on, especially in the last week, that I just haven't had the time or the energy or anything. So I will definitely try to let people know. But yes, for now, with my schedule the way it is, I plan every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific to be live. So next week we'll probably do individual readings again, and just kind of change it up from week to week. But yeah, we'll see, because I do need to do collective readings. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, maintain your peace as much as possible. If you cannot get a break and get some peace, then you need to set some time aside where you can just chill on your own, relax, and do your thing, right? Um, Create peace wherever you can, because right now it is quite the opposite on this earth plane. Everywhere you look, there's chaos. So wherever you can create peace for yourself is what you need to do. And that is your medicine. That is what you need right now to maintain, to be healthy, to continue to fulfill your purpose on this plane at this time. So you carry the torch for others to see. Even in your despair, right? Even in your toughest times, you're still the torchbearer. And that can feel like a tall ask at times. I get it, I know. But you have mastered this in so many other places, in so many other lifetimes, so many other planes of existence. This plane of existence is much more dense, it's much more difficult. So have that grace with yourself, because even though you're a pro at it from lifetime to lifetime, you came through the veil of forgetfulness, you fucking forgot that shit, and that's okay, all right? I did too for a long time. So even in your darkest moments, or whenever your knees are on the floor, you're still carrying that torch, even if it's like the size of a birthday candle. Okay. You still hold that, and you don't need to be or do or anything like that for others in those moments. Just simply sustaining yourself in those moments and taking your time, and integrating all of the things that you have and are processing, um, that is carrying the torch. You don't have to perform. You're not a monkey, one of those little performing monkeys with the little symbols. I kind of look like that with these on. um, so you don't have to do anything. You just have to do you. You just have to exist and move through it in the way that makes sense for you. And that is you carrying that torch for others. Do any of you have chill time? I'm constantly being pulled in all directions lately. My body wakes up in the middle of the night to meditate. Oh my gosh, Steph. Sounds like you need to create some time. You have to have your boundaries too. You can say no, even if they are your family members. I have had to create chill time for myself this week, which was very difficult. Wasn't doable every single day. But at least, like, if I don't have to work that day, it's in the morning with my coffee. If I am working that day, then it's between when I get off and whenever I get the boys, and between like whatever else I have to do to like feed the animals or whatever. Like, I'll take 30 minutes to myself just to sit there and relax and just breathe. Um, but yeah, we have to create the time, especially right now, because shit's popping off. All right. Um, it's always in motion. Okay. Always in motion. You're going to have emotion surface, energy in motion, right? You're going to have triggers. You're going to have like these times, like this past week for a lot of us, it was hectic. We had the US folks had the US holiday. There's been so much going on for everyone. Doesn't matter where you are, you've had a lot going on. You've been juggling a lot. Everything is up in the air right now. Things are moving very quickly. Like, from one day to the next, it's completely different with what's going on in the collective sphere. Jobless if you say no. Yeah. Well, I mean, I get that, the work thing, but you work from home, you have your hours set aside. So make sure that at nighttime, like, you're setting some time aside for I know you got to like do the dinner and the stuff and like feed your family. I get it. But 30 minutes you can do. I know you can. So take your time, chunk out 30 minutes of your morning, your evening, whatever works for your schedule, and have some you time, because you're gonna need it. Death, endings, lots of shit popping off, right? That death card, but it is card number 8. 8 is infinity. The infinite source of all things, right, is bringing endings to everything right now. There are phases and cycles of life that are coming to an end, relationships with people, friends, family, whatever, that are, coming to an end. All of the powers that be, okay, the powers that be is what they keep saying. The powers that be are coming to an end, right? So with so much going on collectively, all of us are impacted by what is going on. Not one person on this plane is not impacted by what is happening collectively right now. Still grounded, good to know. So no one is not impacted at this time. So have grace with yourself, have understanding and grace for others, but don't let a motherfucker cross your boundary. Okay. That does not mean lower your boundaries and say, oh, it's okay, because I know I'm going through a lot right now and I know you're going through a lot right now. No, that means I'm going through a lot right now. I don't have time to deal with what you got going on. I understand you got your own shit going on, but you're not crossing this motherfucking boundary, period. Okay. Remember, that is important for your ascension. We've got the ascension card. After these deaths, after these endings, after these conclusions, we are ascending. It's like all of them are happening simultaneously. It's not even in succession, like this is ending and this is beginning. It's this is beginning and this is ending, right? So we're cycling through a lot right now. It's heavy for everyone. maintain those boundaries, because first and foremost, you take care of self so that you have it. You have the extra energy, you have the extra, awareness to devote to other things that you can help out with at this time. Because yes, you are the torchbearer. Yes, you are carrying that light to move forward for yourself and so many others. But it doesn't mean you will let a motherfucker cross you, because your work is very significant. Okay. Don't let someone who is insignificant to your work impact your work so much that you have to stop, right? That is where we place our boundaries, and that is non-negotiable, because self-love, baby. There's that sun, there's that light. Okay. Self-love. And yes, Linda, you have been seeing eights everywhere. That's more confirmation for you, babe. I love it. Past, present, and future, it is all happening right now. There is coming soon, okay? Coming soon, more people are going to be acutely aware of the fact that time is an illusion. Past, present, and future are all happening right now. It's going to start manifesting in some really cool and magical ways. And it's also going to cause a little bit of freak out, right? With those who are newly awakening and awakened. So, past, present, future, we're healing it all right now. And not just for one single, past, present, future timeline. It's all other timelines that are not completely collapsed yet. We are healing and we are collapsing those into this more healed version. So it's going to be changing everything. It's going to be changing history. It's going to be changing what is going on presently, and is changing the trajectory of our future. So with that, like, time is melting is what I'm hearing. Time is melting. So it's all about healing. We've experienced many countless times. We've experienced every aspect of what that energetic reality had to offer. And now it is time to evolve. It's time to create new. It's time to expand. It's time to heal and experience all of the possibilities that this healed version of what we consider time, including all timelines and all possibilities. Now it's time to start opening that package, that Pandora's box, in a positive way, right? Because we've already experienced the lower frequencies of that. Now we're moving the pendulum in the opposite direction into the higher frequencies of that, right? So we're opening unlimited possibilities and probabilities now and moving into our future. But it is all happening, past, present, future. It's all happening right now. It is always okay to ask for guidance when the way is unclear. And this touches back on you being the torchbearer. You're not always going to know the way forward. I don't always know the way forward. And I can be incredibly gifted and be able to, get all of this information for other people in their lives and what they need to know at that time. But I myself, I can do that for myself. But what I'm not supposed to know in that moment, I'm not going to know. I will be led and guided in different ways, just to have the experience and just to leave my energetic signature on those situations that I wouldn't have consciously chosen to go into, but I did because I wasn't consciously aware of what was going on. And, so that's how we get kind of led into these situations we would never consciously choose, because we are temporarily blinded by our higher selves, our guides, whoever, so that we will go into those, so that we will pick up certain energies from those situations, knowledge, wisdom, but also leave our signatures behind on those things as well. So again, you don't have to be clear on what the path is to move forward for yourself. Just experience. Lead yourself with your intuition. Follow that intuition. Let it guide you, even if it guides you into something that you wish you wouldn't have done and you wouldn't have chosen it consciously. You needed that experience, and that's why you were blinded to certain aspects of it. So don't shame yourself. Don't feel guilt or anything like that regarding anything that you experienced, because you needed it for one reason or another, or it wouldn't have happened. Okay. And you're not always going to know what you need to know, because you don't need to know it at that time. Okay. You need to know, you need to find out by experience. So it's more solidified for you. So if the way forward is unclear, just ask for guidance, follow that intuition. You're not always going to get a, raw, like square cut, this is the full answer, take this block of information and go through all of it, and it's not going to be like that a lot of the time. Okay, so ask for guidance, follow your intuition, don't question it, just do it. Okay, because you need that experience for one reason or another, whether it's considered positive or negative by you. That's just a judgment. You need the experience. And sometimes it leads you into, okay, burdensome situations. Okay, burden also showing up over here. With abundance right behind that on the bottom of the deck. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. But anger, you're going to have your anger triggered. Okay, you're going to get pissed off. And what do we talk about whenever you're experiencing anger? Don't judge it as a negative emotion, something that is not to be experienced. Okay. Because you can harness that energy and use it for good. It is raw, it is powerful, and it is available to you for whatever you're going to use it for, right? Because energy just is. It's what the judgments that we put on it that make it good or bad. So if you are triggered, if you get angry, don't judge yourself for being angry. Don't think that you're falling into a lower frequency because you're angry, because sometimes anger is the highest frequency available to you at that point that can catapult you into higher frequencies. So use that, harness it. Okay, harness that powerful energy. Do not judge it as bad, because it isn't. It just is. It just exists. It's what you do with it and what you judge it, whether it comes out as good or bad. Okay. And with that being said, there's so much more to you than you think. Been doing this anger thing you speak of lately. Awesome. Because, so many times, I know you personally, you are more of a pacifist, right? You're more of a like, let's just keep the status quo. Let's just keep everything balanced. Let's, which is awesome. Not judging that at all. Not saying it's negative at all, because that's very much what we're meant to do. But also we are meant to experience these other emotions and use it to their highest benefit. Hello, Culture Envy. This is collective. This is the collective energy. So everyone is probably going to identify with, resonate with something that I say in this reading. So it's probably hitting everybody. But there's so much more to you than you think, and you orchestrated it. You planned this trigger to cause this anger so that you can use that to change the situation. And it is one of the most powerful emotions that you can use to transform any situation. So use that anger, use that powerful emotion for good, because you have the awareness, you have the wherewithal to make it happen. So use it and make it happen. You can harness it. If you're harnessing the lightning, it's not zapping you, right? It's not causing you pain. It's not causing you negativity. You are channeling that and you are directing it, and it's exactly what you're meant to do. And if you can't transmute it, you need to express it exactly, because it's there for a reason. You wouldn't be experiencing it if it wasn't already within you, coming from somewhere. So if you cannot transmute it, absolutely, express that, get it out, because that's what you're being called to do. Just do it in the most healthy ways you possibly can. And if you do it, if you get a little toxic with it, that's okay. Have grace with yourself, have patience, forgive yourself, apologize to those if you impact others with that, obviously. Make amends if you can. If not, then that was a break that was necessary. Whatever, it is what it is. Pick up and move on, do better next time, right? We have the anger card showing up next to the divine feminine card. And in the beginning of the reading, I said that divine feminine rage, she is not all sunshine, daisies, and butterfly farts, y'all. She is everything. She does not suppress or hide parts of herself. And we all our divine feminine. We all have that divine feminine within us, just as we all have the divine masculine within us. And a lot of us have carried wounded masculine and wounded feminine with us for so long. So when these things start to surface, we need to express them. We need to get them out. And that anger is bringing a lot of the divinity of the feminine online. And that sounds like it, like, you know, sounds like counterproductive. Like, oh, anger is going to bring my divine feminine online. Like, she's not all love and light. Like the lies that they've fed us, the spiritual community, you know, the Western uh, type spirituality, you know, they, for the longest time, decades at least, they have preached the, oh, love and light, oh, we lay down at the feet of our enemies so that they can just spear us to, and you know, that we're martyrs. Martyrdom is not is not noble. Okay, martyrdom is sacrificing yourself, okay, and others. It is not doing anyone anything good. It's not bringing awareness. It's scapegoating. And there are those who take advantage of the scapegoat, okay, and then they just pile more on and they're like, okay, get along, little goat. No, the divine feminine is a warrior. Yes, she's the mother, she's the creator, she's the nurturer, she is, you know, all of these things, but she's also mama bear, and you don't fuck with her cubs, you know what I mean? So that anger is very divine, and the divine feminine is coming online, and she is reclaiming her place, okay, where she has been silent for so long. She is reclaiming her place, her rightful place, okay, where all of us have suppressed our divine feminine. She is coming back, not with a vengeance, but kind of with a vengeance. Okay. Not exactly, but it's that she's harnessing that rage, and she is coming back with a presence. Okay, it's, you know, this is what it is, this is what it's gonna be, and we're not playing games no more. We're not doing the toxicity anymore. We are, you know, reclaiming our space. We are shielding and protecting those who come after us. We are setting them up for the new, for the next, so that they can do, you know, go above and beyond what we've ever done and create something truly majestic, right? So get on, little goat. Yeah. So, you know, the divine feminine, remember, she's not all love and light, baby. Go try to get love and light from a mama bear when you're fucking with her cubs and see what happens to you. Nature's gonna nature. Okay. That is what it is. So allow those powerful emotions to surface, and then use your wisdom and your experience and your balance, right, and harness that shit and create something amazing, because there's so much more to you than you think. You are a goddess, you are God, you are it. So don't continue to bow down to these old programs that say that you need a middleman to be able to be one with source, because you are source, you are goddess, you are God. You don't need a middleman. You are an expression of the source. You are God in human form. So realize that, because you're so much more than you thought you were. Embody it now. Baby, you need a spiritual hug. We all do. Give me a hug. Come on, give me a hug. Okay. Spiritual hugs, y'all. Okay. You need it, because all the shit that's been hitting the fan, the omens like Three Eye Atlas and R2 Swan, they are, you know, the blue and red Kachina, like the Hopi prophecy, that like, this is it, y'all. They show up in our skies, solar flash happens, and you know, shit's different. Our star family, you know, our cousins from other planets and other planes and other, they're all here, they're all showing up. This, the age of what is it called? Disclosure. The age of disclosure is here. They're going to disclose themselves to us, right? Whether our government's allowed or not, and it doesn't matter. They're getting out of the way. So, um, we've seen the omens. We've got them happening in our skies right now. We've got them happening under our crusts right now. The crusts are moving. The tectonic plates are moving. The lava flows are awakening. Dormant volcanoes are coming back online. The geography is going to be changing. Oh my gosh, you guys, you remember one of the first, I don't remember exactly if it was the very first or one of the first um, water channelings that I did on the podcast. Water said, and you guys will remember this, she talked about new like megaliths and artifacts and all these kinds of things being unearthed, and that cities are going to start to rise from our oceans. Y'all, off the coast of Italy, they're finding these huge walls, like man-made walls, and they predate our recorded history, which it's not news to us. Yeah, 5 volcanoes in the last 2 days. It's quite a bit. These things predate our history, which is not something new to us. We know that they've been erasing, that they've been trying to cover up our histories, and that it hasn't just been in the past 10,500 years that we went from cave people to what we are today. We knew that there were other civilizations and all kinds of things. Yes, Susan, you know. Italy, there's been like 5 or 6 different locations, different walls, different civilizations that predate our recorded history for the last, I think, 12,500 years, that they're using their faulty carbon dating stuff on it, but still they're proving to themselves in the scientific community and the archaeological community that like there's more to this than what we thought. So there are so many things that are being unearthed, that are being unoceaned, unwatered, that water told us about a couple years ago. And I was like, I just saw that the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool, because confirmation for me, I'm geeking out. Like, you know, that's something that I channeled through, well, water channeled through me. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Like, I was right. That was a couple years ago. And it's been happening in small increments, but now it's like so much is flooding in. And I get you, water flooding in. But, you know, all of these omens, we're bringing the darkness to light. We're bringing the light. Okay, the light is knowledge, light is awareness, light is wisdom. It's not love and light because everything is all sunshine, roses, and butterfly farts. That's not what it is. Atlantis, yeah, it's outlying parts of Atlantis. Yep, because Atlantis was huge. My nose is like, thanks, water. Like talking about water, and water's messages start flowing, and so does my snot. So thanks a lot, you guys. um, anyway, everything is starting to happen. Everything that's been prophesied for, like even Edgar Casey prophesied what's going on right now with regard to R2 Swan and Three Eye Atlas. Like it's all happening. So expect more to surface, more stuff to get really excited about. While yes, there's a lot to get, you know, that's triggering right now, that's horrible, like unspeakable things that are happening, that have been happening for so long, that so many people have not been aware of. We're being made aware. We're seeing it in real time, videos, pictures, you know, all of like evidence actually surfacing now, where they've suppressed all that evidence before. The evidence is coming out front and center. And so it's deeply disturbing to have to, even if we've been aware of it for so long, it's deeply disturbing to see again in real time right before our very eyes. So have grace with yourself. Take a break from social media, from news, from whatever you do, whatever you need to maintain your own mental and emotional well-being, while not turning a blind eye, being aware of what's happening, but also knowing that this is the final screams, the temper tantrums, the fall of the old inverted 3D matrix paradigm, and we're ushering in the new. But yeah, you need to retreat. You need to rest. You need to take time for your mental and emotional well-being. Everything is always in motion. Again, touching back on that, you need a spiritual hug. Everything is in motion right now, especially right now. So much is in motion, so much chaos. So you need to take your time to retreat, to do the self-care. Yeah, NASA's not sharing anything. They don't want to. They're trying to suppress, but there's people with their own high powered telescopes and everything that have the T on it. So we don't need NASA. They're just another lie anyway. But yes, everything is still surfacing. Continue to bear that torch for yourself and for others, even if, like I said, you may be on your knees carrying a birthday candle sized torch. It is okay. You still have that light. That's your light. So nourish yourself, rest yourself. Don't engage with lower frequency behaviors, especially if it's like coming from a person or a group or a situation that is still stuck and probably going to remain stuck in that lower third density inverted paradigm. All right. Don't establish those energetic cords with things like that, if you can help it. And if not, like you just needed a reminder, you needed a lesson review, and that's okay. Have grace with yourself, have patience with yourself. Okay. Your empathy might try to get the best of you by trying to go back for others who are very dead set on not advancing, not ascending, not learning, and that's okay. We need to know that we can't be Captain Save-A-Ho for everyone, and people individually as a soul, they choose their path. And even those who are going to remain stuck in that third density are serving a positive purpose for the overall shift, for into the new earth. They're serving a positive function for that, even if they themselves are going to remain behind for a little while. They will eventually ascend on their own timeline, on their own soul's plan, and that is not only acceptable, but that is absolutely 100% perfect for them and all involved with the situation. That is their soul's plan. That is, their choice, and it's all for the highest good, because they're going to learn eventually. They're just on a different timeline than you are, and that's okay. So, oh goodness, I talked a lot today. Almost an hour and a half worth of collective reading, but we had a lot to catch up on. So, and we've got a lot going on. But yeah, how's everyone else doing? How are you guys handling all of this? Is there anything that's popping off for you that you want to mention, that you want to talk about? Because we can talk about it. I'm going to take these off though, because now they're starting to bother my tism. Seeing more people ascending that was anticipated. So great work, everyone. Keep up the high vibes. Love it, Steph. Yeah, I'm seeing changes, even like with the recent, like, you guys know my BFF, my bestie for the last 15 years, didn't spend Thanksgiving together, didn't even get an invite because of something that I said about Trump. And my friend is still, for some reason, a Trump supporter, but totally doesn't pay attention to most of the shit that he does. Just claims to support him, but isn't really, like, doesn't pay attention to much of the news or anything. So but I did see a repost earlier today that was talking about both sides of the government, both wings being bad, and like, so I'm holding out, like, I'm holding space for them, but I'm not at all gonna try to engage in any of that. We didn't have any kind of fighting or anything like that. Nothing negative. It's just, that's not my vibe for now. You're not on my vibe. I'm not on yours, and that's how it is. But we, for probably at least 7 to 10 years, we've spent a lot of holidays together as family. So it was different this year not experiencing that. But my kids and I had a wonderful time. Haley came over on Thanksgiving and spent some time with the boys, and I had Thanksgiving food with us. Like, we ate our meal together, and it was a good time. Today is Haley's 20th birthday too. My baby just turned 20, so sucks not being able to spend it with her, and haven't got a text back, but she's busy. She's probably doing birthday stuff and having fun. So yeah, I'm just cruising, just whatever happens, happens, sending people love, letting them know, hey, I love you. And, that's all we can do, right? So yeah, I've been, I'm not as triggered by it as I probably would have been about a year ago because of everything that I've experienced in the past year with letting go of people, friends, family, and so on. Um, and more business connections, things like that. I've let go of a lot this year again. So I'm moving through it with a much lighter perspective, much lighter heart, and it's not crushing, like it would have been back then. I'm just enjoying the peace. Yes, we did. We had a nice holiday meal together. We had good conversation. It was really nice to be able to spend time with her because it's been a while since we've done that, but it was a good time. We had a good time. So hopefully, I told her, we'd like to have more times together. If we can all spend more time together from time to time, that would be awesome. But if not, no pressure. But I'm just saying it's nice. So we shall see. But anywho, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and for supporting me, for sticking around for a good chunk of that very long reading. I know we lost a few people along the way, but that's okay. They've got lives to live too. So, and it's a Saturday night. Can't expect everyone to spend an hour and a half with me on a Saturday night. But I will be back with you guys next Saturday. We'll probably I'll decide for sure. We might do like Friday and Saturday, maybe like individual readings on Friday night, and then do Saturday the collective, so we can still get the collective energy and what we can expect for the following week. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated. I will try to post more on Facebook. Like I said, this past week I had almost no time or energy to really focus on updating Facebook, which is my bad. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I will definitely try to do that this week, keep everyone updated. But just so y'all know, I plan on going live again next Saturday at the same time I did tonight. So just meet me there. Thank you, guys. I love you. All right. I will see you guys next week then. Take care. Bye-bye.